The episode starts with a competition between Gamora and Drax, in which Drax obviously loses. A huge explosion sounds on the ship, and the Guardians are under attack. The Guardians still need Pandorian crystals to unlock the cube, and Peter mentions that a buddy of his, Lunatik, has some. The other Guardians are skeptical about this Lunatik, and find out that he has a long list of crimes under his belt. The Guardians are attacked again. The ship's glass starts cracking, and Groot extends his branches to stop it from breaking. The ship crashes onto Conjunction's the planet, and the Guardians are being watched by a blue man with white hair and a golden cape. The people of Conjunctions cheer for the Guardians when they crash, and the blue man watches the Guardians on a screen. He shows interest in Drax the Destroyer and Gamora, daughter of Thanos, and he picks them for a game. The Guardians are approached by Corman Titus with a gun and tell them that they've landed on the planet without clearance. Peter tries to make his case by boasting about himself and the Guardians being well known, but Titus isn't having it. Then, a hologram of the man who was watching the Guardians appears. He introduces himself as the Grandmaster, their host. The Grandmaster is putting on a show and asks Titus to release the Guardians, and so they enter a ship to transport them to where the Grandmaster is waiting. When the Guardians enter his tower, they are surrounded and attacked by robots. The Guardians destroy the robots, and the Grandmaster makes an appearance claiming that the theatrics were just his way of seeing how the Guardians fight in person. He boasts about the Guardians and leaves out Peter, who he's not so impressed with. The Grandmaster proposes that the Guardians should fight each other for entertainment, and while they need the money, Drax tells the Grandmaster that the Guardians don't fight each other. The Guardians leave, but the Grandmaster is not done with them yet. The scene opens up with Drax, Groot, and Rocket trying to figure out how to afford parts to fix the ship with how expensive everything costs. A poster with a huge prize money shows up in front of them as an obvious solution, but Drax refuses to fight. Meanwhile, Gamora and Peter go to find Lunatik, who is, as his name suggests, a true lunatic. He tells Peter that he gave the crystal to his girlfriend, who turns out to be Peter's ex-girlfriend too. Upon seeing Peter's Askvarian ex, Lucy, she attacks him for lying to her and then blowing her off the last time she saw him. Lunatik and Lucy attack Gamora and Peter, and they all start to fight. Back to the others, Drax is fighting in the arena and winning. A robot provokes Rocket, calling him afraid, and Rocket decides to make Drax fight another battle. Gamora and Lucy continue to fight, while Peter and Lunatik are watching from the sidelines. Lunatik gets a phone call, and Corman Titus shows up. He stops the fight and leaves. Lunatik tells Peter that if he wants the crystal, he has to do something for him. Meanwhile, Drax keeps winning every fight, and they slowly repair the ship, but the more they spend to fix it, the more money they need. So, Drax keeps on fighting, and Rocket goes a little overboard with gathering up money. The ship is now fixed, but before they leave, Rocket is given an ultimatum to fight another fight, and if they win, he gets his own ship, and if they lose, the Milano gets taken from them. Rocket agrees, and who other than Gamora to show up as Drax's next opponent. The Grandmaster tricked the Guardians. He shows up at the arena and tells them that he had told them he would get them to fight one another eventually. With the Milano on the line and the crystal in the hands of the Grandmaster, the Guardians have no choice but to fight. That's not all. The Grandmaster puts a shield on the arena, trapping everyone, and tells the Guardians they have to fight to the death, or else he would vaporize every single person in the arena. Gamora and Drax go up against each other, but only to buy the Guardians time. Quill, Groot, and Rocket try to figure out a way out of the arena. Groot digs up a hole for the Guardians to escape from. Gamora and Drax fight, but he's pulling back, so she provokes him with the death of his family, possibly, on her hands, and he starts fighting harder, giving the Grandmaster a real fight. On the other hand, Peter is arguing with Rocket about betting the ship while they're being shot at by robots. They destroy the robots and make it to their ship. They fly out to the tower to take out the energy dome where it's being projected from. They find an active bomb on the ship, and they lose control of the ship to the Grandmaster, who controls everything within the confines of Conjunctions. Rocket takes matters into his own hands and steals one of the Grandmaster's ships, guiding the Milano on top of the tower and destroying the energy dome. He crashes into the Grandmaster, making him lose the crystal and fall into the arena with Drax and Gamora. They take the crystal, and the Grandmaster is arrested by Titus. The Guardians leave the Conjunction before Titus arrests them, too. Back on the Milano, Rocket gets a new pilot seat, and the Guardians go off to uncover the secrets of the Cosmic Cube. The Guardians are being followed by Corman Titus, who's been tracking them as they approach a new planet. He loses them, and the Guardians attack him, sending him and his ship down. The Guardians explore the planet to find another Pandorian crystal. Quill upsets Groot by being a douchebag, so, as the Guardians go to search for the crystal, he stays behind and guards the ship. The Guardians come across a village where the Collector said the crystal would be. They locate it, and Peter dumbly attempts to take it, but the villagers see him. He tries to convince them that he was merely trying to fix it with his laser scalpel. The villagers try to trade it so they can use it against some monsters. Peter tells them he'll give them the laser in exchange for the crystal, and they agree. Groot comes running towards the village in alarm, and behind him come monsters. The Guardians help the villagers defeat the monsters, and they drive them away from the village, but Groot gets bitten by one of them. They have a feast to celebrate the victory, and the Guardians enjoy their time, maybe a little too much, because Peter loses the crystal, and Groot takes a hold of it. The village man explains to Gamora that the monsters appeared after a fireball flew across their planet, to which a few days later, they start noticing a fungus appear in the forest. The creatures are created from said fungus. Groot accidentally sets the village on fire, prompting Peter, the jerk, to bully him again, driving him away into the forest. Groot, following being bitten, develops an infection. Back at the village, the villagers get mad at the Guardians for setting their village on fire. Peter goes after Groot to apologize. Groot leaves a trail of red fungus in the forest, and when Peter finds him, Groot's body turns into one of the monsters they fought before. Titus sees Groot's body from afar. As it grows uncontrollably, the villagers start attacking Groot, and the Guardians attempt to stop Groot, but he no longer recognizes them. They want to find the root of his infection to stop it, so they split into two groups. Peter and Rocket try to save Groot, while Drax and Gamora protect the villagers in case Groot wakes up again. The villagers try to attack Groot again, but Gamora and Drax try to convince them to stop. Rocket and Peter try to figure out how to stop the fungus, while the villagers launch an attack on Groot, waking him up. Gamora and Drax jump onto Groot as he stands up. Peter and Rocket fall towards one of the fires lit up inside of Groot. Groot tries to attack the villagers, but Gamora and Drax keep him busy. They find the meteor, which is the source of the fungus. Titus shows up and attacks Groot with his ship. Rocket and Peter find a glowy green thing where the fungus doesn't approach. Peter finds the crystal, and as he reaches to take it, he is attacked by a fungus creature and falls into the green thing. Peter is trapped inside while Rocket battles the fungus creatures. Back at the village, Titus decides to use antimatter missiles so powerful that they could destroy the entire village. Drax tries to stop Titus by jumping on his ship. Inside Groot's heart, Peter witnesses a dream where Groot uses water to revive other Groots. After seeing it, he uses water to save Groot. Drax tries to stop the missile launch and diverges it towards the source of the fungus. Peter and Rocket leave Groot's body, and he goes back to normal. The police cop Titus attempts to attack Groot and the Guardians, but the villagers defend the Guardians and drive him away. Back at the ship, Peter places the crystal into the cosmic cube, and another point on the map is revealed. Peter tells Groot that the green thing he carries inside him is able to grow Groot's entire civilization, and Groot agrees. This episode sure was action-packed. The Guardians have finally found another point on the map, and were able to escape two new villains. My favorite has to be the Grandmaster, and I hope we're not done with him just yet. This brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me, what do you think of these episodes? What do you think awaits the Guardians next? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.